all need. When you think about it, it's a message that reminds us that we need to reflect sometime. Not look back, but reflect on what has happened. This is our heritage, people. And if you want to know what kind of flag we go by, it's the Word of God. That's our flag. And we need to raise it high. We don't need to lower it to half-mast because it needs to fly whether times are good or bad. Our heritage is that which we studied in Hebrews. All of those who gave their lives. Let's go back and look at some of that in Hebrews 11. And we'll see that part of what we're looking at in Hebrews 11 have to do with a roll call, as we might call it. A roll call of all of those who sacrificed to do the will of God. So look at verse 28. Let's pick up at verse 28. Through faith, he kept the Passover. So who are we talking about keeping the Passover? Well, you go back and see that they're talking about Moses. Verse 24 says about faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. We talked about how he was floated down the Nile River by his mother, and his sister went ahead and saw him float, and saw Pharaoh's daughter come out and discover him in the Nile River. I think that's right. And she found him, and the daughter went back and told her mother that Pharaoh's daughter got Moses. And then she said, well, go find somebody to take care of him. So she was glad to go get his mother to take care of her little brother. See how God worked things? God was in the plan. Verse 25, choosing rather to suffer the afflictions with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasure of sin for a season. Verse 26, esteeming the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures in Egypt. Now, how did Moses get tangled with Christ? Moses was way back there in the Old Testament. But what I want to tell you is Jesus was too. Jesus was there in spirit. Jesus was there concealed, but now he is revealed. So that's how Moses realized that he would rather suffer the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures in Egypt. For he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. He realized that man can give you some stuff, but God can give you the real deal. God can give you eternal life and everlasting life as well. By faith, verse 27, Moses forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured and seeing him who is invisible. God saw how God. He didn't just look at the king of Egypt, Pharaoh. Moses saw God on his throne. Verse 28. Through faith, Moses kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch them. God told the children of Israel, you take a hyssop and dip it in the blood of goats and sprinkle it on the doorpost. Sounds silly. Why would you sprinkle blood on a pretty doorpost? Your house is painted white, or you got a beautiful home, and you're going to sprinkle some blood on your live home? Come on now. It's going to draw flies. It's going to be red up there. It's going to look like a shooting scene. But if God said, we need to learn how to do it. Because every doorpost that had blood sprinkled on it, that night the death angel came around, and wherever house there was a house that didn't have blood sprinkled on the doorpost, the young child and their newborn child died. But when the death angel saw the blood sprinkled on the children of Israel's doorpost, he passed over that house. That's where we get the Passover from. That's what it's all about, people. When you obey God, you're going to get to reap the benefits of the blessings that come from doing what God wants you to do. Verse 28, through faith, he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch them. That's the death angel. Verse 29, by faith they passed through the Red Sea, as by dry land, which the Egyptians are saying to do, were drowned. We know the story. God told them to hold out the rod. And when he held out the rod, the Red Sea parted. And they went across on dry ground. God called a strong east wind, if I'm not mistaken. And it blew the ground all night, Brother Freddie, until the ground became like dust. And they went through the Red Sea with the water congealed on both sides. And didn't get wet. And when the Egyptians took in after them, riding on their chariots that the wheels had fallen off, they ran down in there after them. And as soon as they got down in the middle of the sea, God let the water crash down on them and drowned them in the Red Sea. Don't tell me God ain't no. If you trust Him and by faith do what He said do, you'll reap the blessings of His reward. By faith, verse 30. The walls of Jericho fell down. You know the story about the walls of Jericho. God told them to go around the walls of Jericho 7 times. One day for 7 days. But on the last day, Brother Fred, it's 6 days. And on the last day, He wanted to go around 7 times in that one day. And then give a big shout. And the walls of Jericho came falling down. When you do what God said, you will get the results that God said would happen. Verse number 31. By faith the harlot Rahab. You mean God used a harlot? Yes, He did. She let the men of God come in her whorehouse. Yes, she did. And let them out, Brother Freddie, threw a basket in the wall. And when the folks came and she said, they're not here, she was telling the truth. They wasn't. Hid them out. Amen. But Brother Boy, how God used a lie and a harlot to save the men of God? God can do whatever He wants to do. Amen. That's why He's God. That's the way God can help us sometimes and use us. And we need to learn. Just because a woman was a prostitute don't mean God can't use her. Some of us, or some of y'all, hello!
Paul says such are some of you.
Paul says such was some of you. We all got an X by our name. We were something. And some of us still dibbling and dabbling. Do I have a witness? That's why we got to come out. We got to come out. Paul said, come out from the world. Walk according to the Spirit, and you will not yield to the lust of the flesh. The lust of the flesh is manifest, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Don't yield to the old begging elements of the flesh. Romans 7, Paul said, oh, wretched man that I am, who's going to deliver me from this body of sin and death? I know what's right, but I don't do it. And the things I know I shouldn't do, I find myself doing them all the time. Oh, wretched man that I am. We're in the same boat, people. Who's going to deliver me from this body of sin and death? Then he said, thank God. Through Jesus Christ, with the body I serve sin. Ain't no good thing of the flesh, that's why it's going to dust. That's why my old hip is out. Because this old body ain't designed to last. I probably done overworked it, but that's all right. Thank God I got a little hope. They're going to try to cut the bad part out and put some man-made, God-made stuff in there. God gave me the wisdom to know how to do the surgery, and I hope they get it right. And may give me a few more years of life. They said last 10 years. I don't know what they do after 10 years. I have to go in and put another one in, I guess. Thank God. But I hope to have insurance. They don't cancel my insurance like they did the police officer. Maybe Sister Boyd, I have hers back and they cancel mine. I can get on hers. I don't know. Hopefully I'll get my Social Security right and I can go on Medicare and Medicaid. Anybody know about that? Do I have a witness? If it's still some out there when I get there. Because it's going fast. Do I have a witness? If we using it, some of them other folk across town been using it all their lives. Don't think folks in hello in the suburbs don't use it. They use it too. Why you think we know about it? Well, we get stabbed, they get them too. Do I have a witness? Don't let them fool you. Brother Boyd, I don't see them standing in line. I heard they don't stand in line. They mail them to their house. You didn't know that, did you? Thank you very much. And a bag of chips. Do I have a witness? See, we got to wake up, people. It ain't you hear on TV about some people that look like you and me. We ain't all the ones getting in. It's some more folks getting way more than we get. Do I have a witness? But they don't tell you that, see. And there's some folks act up too, just like our folks. If not, if you want to know the truth, worse than our folks. Dennis, we were laughing this morning, wasn't we? Sometimes you run across firsthand and you see that, wait a minute. We're some good folks if you don't want to know the truth. When I say we, I'm talking about us as a people. Amen. Very forgiving and very compassionate. Yes, sir. And the people of South Carolina just seem to be over and beyond compassionate, don't they? They're some forgiving folks. Thank God. And I don't look at it as a weakness and beat down either. Flag flying over the Capitol with them bars and stripes, but them folks are forgiving and loving. Yes. And when Eve old Mitt Romney, God bless his soul, old Romney said they need to take it down. He's right. Amen. It needs to be in a museum is what our president said. Amen. That's where you go to see relics, because the last time I checked, the war was lost and they surrendered. Do I have a witness? Amen. In your heart mind, you might still be fighting and think it's still going on, but I'm telling you, check your history. I think it was over and it was surrendered. So you don't wear that stuff. If you might mess. Well, if I'm not mistaken, your heritage is something you keep to remember, keepsake by. But my heritage is in the Bible. Amen. Hebrews 11 is our heritage as children of God. We look for a country not made with men's hands, and we need to realize that. The best thing we can do to our fellow man is be nice to him. The best thing we can do when he messes up is forgive him. The best thing we can do when he needs a hand up is to try to help him. The best thing we can do is let him know he's in the hands of a just God. And when you cross the line and break the law, the ultimate punishment waits on you. But God got something for you here before you get there. Amen. One woman said it best. You in the hands of a just God. And I hope you meet God one day, and I hope it's sooner than later. Amen. And what she meant by that was, brother, you don't deserve the air, sucking up air from people trying to do right. Because some of the things we do in life, you go to hell as quick as for lying as you will for killing a man. We need to wake up, people, and realize God is no big eyes and little eyes. There's no big eyes and big you. It's sin is sin. Amen. And we need to live above sin the best of our ability. And where we realize we can't, we need the blood of Christ. That's the only thing that saves. We need to get in Christ where the blood will cover us when we make those errors. As I get down to the next verse, we're going to shift gears and go to Numbers. Not Numbers, the book of Judges, chapter 7. But before we go there, look at the next verse. By faith, 31. The harlot Rahab perished not with them that believed not, when she had received the spies with peace. In this case, the spies were men of God, spying out the land. And they went and saw it, Joshua and Caleb. Everybody else came back and said, we can't make it. We grasshoppers under them. They're too big and too strong. We can't beat them. But Joshua and Caleb came back and said, we can take them. We can take them because God is going to fight the battle for us. And when Joshua and Caleb said that, God blessed them through a prostitute. I'm not sure if it was Joshua and Caleb. I'm just going to say the men of God, Brother Freddie. But whoever they were, God blessed them. And God sent them to a house of ill repute. Isn't that something? They know the men of God ain't going to be in no whole house. Come on now. But they went there looking for them. And Rahab said, look, they not in my house. They wasn't in the house. They was up in the attic. Do I have a witness? There's a difference in being in the house and in the attic. Do I have a witness? Amen. Sometimes you got to call it like it is. They ain't in here. You want to come see? They came in looking, couldn't find them. And then later on that night, she said, y'all come on down and let them slip out the back way. The men of God were transferred into freedom because of Rahab the prostitute. And God put it in his Bible. That lets you know if he can forgive Rahab the prostitute, he can forgive you and me. That lets you know that even though you might be a person that's ill repute, you got a good heart, God can forgive you and can include you in his kingdom. Isn't that a wonderful thing? Paul said such were some of you, but you've been washed, you've been clean. And we read on down, and you say, well, boy, I didn't do that, but you thought about it. Sometimes you can go to hell quickly for lying and for killing them just for thinking about it. Jesus said you committed adultery with her already in your heart. Why do you think men, when they see a fat woman, they look all the way down their feet and all the way back up their head? You commit adultery just thinking it in your mind. Amen. Licking your chops. Man, I just can't wait. Let me get the number. If I get the number, I got it. We think we can talk that back, don't we? We think if we can just get the ear. And you know what? It's true, too. Some of these little guys so slick, they take a smart, intelligent woman that's got college degrees and a good job and look pretty good, and they can turn them out every day. Do I have a witness? Yes. Turn them out, and next thing you know, all they got to do is get them on some of that little white powder and let them smoke a little of it. Get them on some of them stuff you shoot in your arm, and they'll lose a religion. They'll lose a mind. A man talking smack. You know, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. But you got to be careful what you listen to. Jesus said, take heed what you hear and take heed how you hear. Don't let no slick joker get your ear. Can I talk to you a minute? Not today. I'm going to work. I'm late. Bye, I'm gone. You see them at the store, don't you? How do they do? You see them, you pull out, you got to learn to look in your rearview mirror. time you pull up on a gas station lot, you look in your rearview mirror, you see somebody headed your way. So you drive on the lot, you don't see them. They be standing there, time you pass, here they come. You better watch out, they coming to you. All they want to do is just get your attention. Then sometimes they're real polite. Can I talk to you a minute? They stand on the corners with a sign and say, we'll work for food. You think they really want some food? They look like they had Mr. Meal, some of them. We'll work for food. You look around, you see a nice car park somewhere. That's probably what they came there in. Brother Sims and I saw a man on the interstate coming up here, Charles, and one day I could see if it was me and you, we just stopped to help him. But I looked at him in the rearview mirror and I said, I see why I didn't stop for him. He had an earring in his nose. A young brother with some dreadlocks hairstyle with an earring in his nose. I say, he looked like he's auditioning for a Tarzan movie. Brother Sims said, no, Brother Boyd, we don't need to help him. We're going to help him by letting them see us lead. That's going to help him, all right? See, you got to look the part, people. You're not going to get help if you go on a job looking with tattoos all up and down your neck, funny hairstyle, earring in your lip and your nose and your tongue. Come on, what you're trying to tell the people. What, you trying to be an extra on a freak show? Wake up, people, wake up. Image is everything. Your appearance means a lot. First impressions last. People looking at this, look what you're telling folks. Now, some of them folks are some good people. They just dress strange, they just look strange. I hadn't even got into my message. Let me get through. Let me get down there. Verse 32. What shall we say then? I mean, what shall I more say? For the time would fail me to tell of Gideon, Gedeon, and Barak. That's who President Obama is named after. Did you know it was an Old Testament character named Barak? I don't know that much about him. I hadn't even had time to research him. But I'll tell you what, I know who the man that's named after him has done. He's done wonderful things in this country. God bless him. Barak, you didn't know he was in the New Testament, did you? And of Samson, and of Jephthah, and of David also, and Samuel, and of the prophets, who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouth of land, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of weaknesses were made strong, waxed vigilant in the fight, turned the fight of the armies, turned to fight the armies of aliens. That's what these men did. They fought fights, people. We're in a fight right now, whether you want to know it or not. Yes, Barak was a soldier, he was a fighter. He's every now and then he'll say, I know they hate me, but I got a job to do. I got to be strong. I got to be forgiving. They don't want me up here. They hate me. One of them wouldn't even shake his hand. He stuck his hand out anyway and kept walking. He takes it all the time. But we got to learn how to be strong too. When you got a mortgage to pay, you don't let them run you off of your job. I don't like him. He don't laugh at our nasty jokes. He don't drink beer with us after work. I don't like him. Did you go there to drink beer and laugh at jokes? You went there to do what? Work. And that's what you do. If you want to keep your job, you learn that now. You go there to work. You didn't go there to socialize. You didn't go there to go out with them on their birthdays. You didn't go there to talk and laugh at that joke. You are there to work. And if you want to keep a job, you realize that you're not their friends and you're not going to be their friend. You don't want to go to a job and have some mess going on. One man taught me, he's the first black supervisor in MLDW. He said, young man, come here, let me talk to you. Over 30 years ago, I just hired on over on a credit union lot. He said, you want to stay here and work? I said, yes, sir. He said, I got some advice for you. He said, don't get your honey where you earn your money. And I looked at him. He said, you know what I'm talking about? I said, yes, sir. Now, I really didn't know what he was talking about, but I figured it out. He said, you want to be able to come to work. You don't want to be falling out and getting mad, having to cut your tires and scratch your car. Because young people do that. They cope too hard. They don't know how to be friends first. Church members first. Relationships, you should grow into them. You don't fall in love. If you fall in, you might fall and hurt yourself. If you fall in, you can fall out. Hello? Amen. But when you grow in love, you usually don't grow out, you grow up. And sometimes if you have to part ways, ain't nothing to do with the party. Thanks but no thanks, we're going to agree to disagree. You keep your house, I'll keep mine. We'll be free. We'll go out, you get tired of me, you go home and I'll go home. Fair enough? Now, if you want me to sell my house and move in with you, you're going to put my name on it. And if I'm going to help pay for it, it's going to be mine too. We're going to have to get married. Ain't no shacking. Because one of us will die, and then what's going to happen? The ex-wife or somebody going to swoop in and get the pension? We got to wake up, people. He said, time ain't going to allow us to talk about Gideon. Well, let's take time, just the next few minutes, to look at Gideon. Turn with me to is it Judges? Judges 7. Now, he started in 6. I'm not going to take the time to read Judges 6. I don't have the time to set up the children of Israel, how they mess up every time and get in trouble, and they want God to deliver them. But they were faced with two groups of people, the Midianites and the Amalekites, Brother Freddie. Amalekites, there we go. And I have to tell you that normal rules don't apply. There's a preacher named Mark Anthony Middleton. I'm not sure where he's from. I have to do research on him. But he did a little message called Normal Rules Don't Apply. That's Pastor Mark-Anthony Middleton. And his sermon, Normal Rules Don't Apply, caught my attention. Because he really broke that thing down from an African-American perspective. Just like Gideon, he realized that sometimes you got to follow God rules, not man rules. Men will tell you you can't beat them. There's too many of them. It's safety in numbers. We know what Proverbs say. But every now and then, God rule. When God is on your side, you got a majority. It can be you and God, and y'all can fight an army of tens of thousands. Because God will fight the battle. You just got to keep your head humble, keep your head out the clouds, and realize God will fight your battle. See, you don't want to fight the battle and win and then brag and say, I killed him by myself. David didn't want to hit the giant between the eyes and say, I killed him because I'm a good slingshot thrower. David said, God slayed the giant through my hands. See, David, you get some credit, but David gave the credit to God. David get credit for obeying God and listening to God and doing what God said. Be not afraid. That's what faith will help you to do. In Judges 7, 1 and 2, then Zerubbabel, who is Gideon, that's his real name, Zerubbabel. But he had a name, Gideon, G-I-D-E-O-N. So in Hebrew, the Hebrew writer had his name misspelled, if I'm not mistaken, Brother Freddie. He had G-E-D-O-N. It don't matter how you spell it, just call it right. Hello? Amen. All press is good press. Even old Thaddeus Matthews, local disc jockey, on the Friday night, but he's a TV talk show host during the week. And he's very controversial. And he said, all news is good news. Put me on TV, just make sure you spell my name right. Oh, Gideon said, you don't even have to spell my name right. Just go ahead and tell me about what God did through me. Watch what he said. Verse number 7, the defeat of the Midianites. Then Zerubbabel, who is Gideon, and all the people that were with him rose up early and pitched beside the well of Harod, so that the host of the Midianites were on the north side of them by the hill of Moreh in the valley. And the Lord God said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many. Gideon, you got too many soldiers, too many folks. Ain't nothing like having too many folks in a situation. You're going to argue, you're going to bicker, you're going to go back and forth. You just can't get nothing done when you got too many cooks. We'll spoil up the soup. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Somebody got to be in charge. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee, Gideon was a leader, are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands. Lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, mine own hands have saved me. See, you get to brag it when you make a battle and be successful. Israelites had some problems. They thought they were all of this in a bag of chips, but God said, no, no. No, no, no. You got too many folks, Gideon. So God came up with a plan. God told Gideon, now therefore go, proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. And there returned of the people 20 and 2,000, and there remained 10,000. Ain't that some 22,000 left, and it was 10,000 still there. So there was 32,000 people that Gideon had ready to fight the Midianites. I ain't even got to the Amalekites yet. I'm just talking about the Midianites. 32,000, too many. One man is a leader, too many. God said too many. Gideon said, anybody that's halfway scared, y'all go into the house. That's right. 22,000 of them left. That's right. How many did that leave? 10,000. We got 10,000 left. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many. Still got too many. Bring them down into the water, and I will try them for thee there. God gonna test them out. When you go to these jobs, don't they? When you go to boot camp, Timothy, at the Air Force, don't they take you through some wrinkles? They take you through some tests, don't they? They weed out the weaklings because they ain't ready. You got flat foot, you can't run. You scared? Go home. Go, you ain't 54 now, God, son. Go on back home. Ain't no harm, no foul. You don't even have to pay your tab. When you ate out food, you had wore out clothes, you can live and suck down air, but you ain't ready, go on back home. Thank you, but no thanks. You didn't make boot camp. Amen. God got a test for the 10,000. God said, send them down to the lake, and I'm going to watch how they drink water. Now, the ones that laid their sword down and started, I'm thirsty out here, I'm tired, it's hot, and the ones going to stick their head down there, drink like a horse, send them home. 9,700 folk didn't make the cut. God said, y'all ain't ready. Send them home. Ended up with 300 soldiers to fight the Midianites. The Midianites had so many. Gideon them, some of them didn't think they could make it because they said, we ain't enough. 32,000, 22,000 left. With 10,000, that's 12,200 down to 10,000, and then from 10,000 down to 300. He wanted the one, God said the one that kept their hand on their sword, and they you know how dogs drink water? You know, a dog look around, even when he use the bathroom, you gonna see him go, he ain't gonna just use the bathroom, he gonna stop, she gonna stop like no queenie. They gonna turn around 360, they look at all the time. You say, what are they doing? They trying to get settled, they don't want no trouble. So when things start happening, they don't want no trouble. You're gonna learn. We go in there and shut the door and lock the door. We listen. They turn around and looking. And when they finally get settled, then they go ahead and do the business. But they steady looking. He said, those that go into the pool and lap water like a dog. Now, do a dog stick his mouth in there like a horse and drink? A dog said, how a horse drink? They stick their mouth in the water and suck like a straw, don't they? Am I right? Right. But a dog just curl their tongue and lap it a little sip at a time. Right. Their eyes steady looking. Right. God wanted the men of God that kept the sword. Yes, Lord. Stuck their hand down there like a dog's tongue and pulled a little to the mouth. Steady looking. Right. Hand on their sword. Right. If an enemy jump out the bushes, they cut their head off. Right. See, God knew them men were vigilant, they were watchful, they were ready. 9,700 of them stuck their mouth in there like a horse and got sent back home. Didn't make the cut. Right. That's almost 10,000 folks applying for a job to fight for God's people, and 9,700 didn't make it. That's right. You failed the qualification. Right. Thanks, but no thanks. Right. They ain't got but 300 spots, and 10,000 people went. 9,700 didn't make it. But thank God for that 300. Yes, but you know what? They really didn't even have to fight. Because the God was on that side. Right. All they had to do is God said, get a horn. And what soldiers want to do with a horn? Get your trumpet. Now watch this. Y'all need to get this. Put the trumpet in your right hand. Use it most folk are right handed. Don't have it with it. We got some southpaws in here. If you're southpaw, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 southpaws in here. There's a mother and daughter southpaws. You know they got this thing going together. 4 southpaws out of all of us in here. So maybe they could put their trumpet in their left hand, but God had to put trumpet in your right hand. Let me ask you, are you ambidextrous? Any of y'all, can you write with your right hand? Can you type with your right hand? Now, I'm right-handed, but I play drums left-handed. I work the computer mouse left-handed. So sometimes you have to be able to cross over. Do I have a witness? God had him to put the trumpet in the right hand and the sword in the left hand. Amen. Now watch this. When they got ready to fight, you know what God told them to do? Gather around all these soldiers, and when I tell you, wait a minute, he told them to put the sword in the sheath. He got the trumpet in the right hand and a glass camel jar in the right hand, a incendiary device in the right hand. And he said, when I tell you, throw the thing and make the fire blow up and then blow the horn. And when he did that, the folks jumped up and all the soldiers ran into the other camp that was going to fight with them to get the Amalekites, Brother Freddie. The Midianites and the Amalekites, and they fought and killed each other. God, tell me if God don't know how to make a thing work. You got the message. You got to learn how to trust God. Let me apply the lesson. What we're talking about here is that normal rules don't apply. In the story of Gideon, it teaches us only one thing that we need to really particularly care to, is that normal rules don't apply. It teaches that when you add God to the equation, the normal rules of victory do not apply anymore. Do I have a witness? Amen. When the Lord's trumpet sounds, see, it's God told him to blow the trumpet. When the Lord's trumpet sounds, all of our rules are irrelevant. Amen. You know, our generals say you got to have so many men to fight. You got to have so many soldiers on the ground. You got to have all these heavy weapons. You got to have men that are trained, that's not scared and run back like the folks said they did over there in Iraq. They ran because they were ready to fight. Corruption. Everybody on the tape got money. They didn't want to fight. Amen. But what you need is God on your side. The first rule suspended by the sound of the trumpet is that, number one, there is strength in numbers. We think that's a true rule, but God suspended that rule. There ain't no numbers. He sent the big numbers home and kept the ones that were vigilant and dedicated. In God's battle plan, numbers are negligible. Do I have a witness? God told Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands. Judges 7:2. In God's plan, strength does not lie in numbers, but in the character of those who struggle. Amen. Sound like some of our folks back in the day, don't it? Hello? When the 4 college students sat at a Greensboro lunch counter, I'm talking about the Carolinas now where they've been shooting the churches down there, where the police shot the man in the back and then dropped the stun gun and said he stole my stun gun. Until that little Hispanic boy put it on video. And he got busted, cold busted. And now he's charged with murder. Do I have a witness? Amen. And they said the little fella, they put him in the cell almost right next to the one. Hello? Birds of a feather flock together, don't they? And then what they doing? They launched a nationwide movement. One of my men in Montgomery seamstress, do I have a witness? With tired feet and refused to give up her seat on a segregated bus. She started a revolution. Yes, she did. Rosa Parks. One woman say, I'm tired. Old bus driver talk real mean to her. Oh, they got a down at the Civil Rights Museum, they got a recording of it. Somebody, I don't know if they had a telephone, but they may have just made an actor, but it sounds pretty real to me. Get up, sit, move off of that seat, and let this old white man sit down, young white man sit down. That lady said, not today, my feet tired. I'm not getting up. I paid a fare just like him, and I'm not giving up my seat. People that took character to stand. That man called the police and had that woman arrested. Wait a minute, they didn't have no cell phone. He had to stop and find a squad car, go find a phone on a phone booth somewhere, and call the police. They may have had some radios on the bus, I don't know. But we got to realize when God is on the side of a faithful few, we don't have to fear sending the faint-hearted majority home from the battle. The second rule, crumbled by the trumpet's blast, is if it's to be, it's up to me. We think we the one in the wheel, in the middle of the wheel. We think we're the one that everything got to go by us. We got to run it. If we don't run it, it ain't going to run. People, I'm here to tell you, the world does not revolve around you or me. Amen. God can raise up the rocks to worship him. Don't think you got to be in the middle of it for it to function. One monkey don't stop no show. Amen. And And if we handle God's business right, we always try to prepare somebody that can step up and carry on. Amen. I don't ever want to be the bill in the middle of the wheel. I don't ever want to be the big shot or the HNIC, because it don't revolve around me. If I don't do it, it won't get done. If it's up to me, if it's to be, it's up to me. God had Gideon send people home, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, mine own hand have saved me. Verse 2. And Judges 7:2, we get braggadocious when we think we're winning the battle. We got to realize God fights the battle. The moment we attribute the victory to our strength, our brilliant strategies, the normal rules apply once again, and we will face battles that we cannot win. As when we think we're doing it, we're going to lose. When we think it's going to be won on our strength or our wisdom or our ability or our weapons or our this or our that or our heritage or our forefathers or the way things used to be or the way things ought to be, we're going to lose. Things change because God was in the plan. How do you have people with weapons and the law on their side defeat people that are harmless and don't have any weapons, and all they're doing is protesting? They had the dogs and the water hose, they had the fire department and everybody else on their side until the federal government had to come in there. Thank God that the national leaders said, this mess got to stop down there in the South. What y'all doing ain't right. You're going to let our black soldiers fight in World War I and II and then come back and can't ride the bus? Can't buy their own house? Can't vote? They can shoot and give their lives. They put them on the front line over there too. My daddy told me about it. They are right out there and give their life to fight for our freedom, and then come back to America and treated like second-class citizens? No ma'am, no sir, no way, no how. You earn the right to buy your own house. James Brown said it best. I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Just open up the door. I get it myself. Don't slam the door in my face. Let me have an equal opportunity and I'll show you. I can work just as hard as you. I can run fast as you. I can last longer than you. I can do it better than you if I have the opportunity. So I can't even say the word. Systemically, they are denying our people the opportunity. You fill out the application, they get in there and find a way to fail our students. They have you thinking our students are dumb and can't read. You got some black doctors, you got some black educators, you got some black men who even became president. Don't tell me we can't learn. But you cook the books and you tell our people they can't learn. Then you go on TV and tell them they're dumb and can't read. And then you tell the teachers, y'all can't teach them. Well, you've been teaching them for years, all of a sudden you can't teach them now. Then you dismantle that school system, have one of the biggest school systems in the country. Then you come in here and give it away. Listen to some old jackleg politician who was promised a seat. He ain't got his seat yet. They didn't even vote him in there. He couldn't believe it. He did all that telling y'all we got to do this because we're going to run it when we get there. I'm going to be on the school board. He ain't got that yet. It's sad. Pray for him. I ain't going to call their names. I don't even remember Montanus and them names. I don't even know their whole name. But pray for them. I can't even think of the other one down there. God bless them. They all voted to give it up. It wasn't no surrender. It wasn't no takeover. It was surrender. You gave it up. You had $1 billion budget. You gave it up. Because the watermelon's supposed to be sweeter in the county they are in the city. Same watermelon, the same soil, same water. We was running it and they told y'all, they got on the news and told you, y'all can't run it, y'all can't think, y'all can't handle this kind of money. So you gave it up, and now they're running it in the ground. They're closing them and making charters. What's a charter? How come it ain't none of them charters out in the suburb? Hello? If it's that good, don't you think they'd have a few? They got their own. You got to be responsible for your own children. We got to learn how to raise our own children, not bringing teachers in from New York and California. That's why what got us in trouble. Don't whoop little Johnny. Little Johnny need time out. And little Johnny knocking you in the head, robbing you. You put the rod on him. The Bible says you spare the rod, you spoil the child. Little Johnny, when he's real small, you don't have to get no razor strap. You don't have to get no weeping willow limb. When little Johnny, it ain't cute when little Johnny walking around there breakdancing at 6 months old. And then he start messing with your little whatnot. You get his little hand and pop him one time. Little Johnny, you can't put his hand on that because he know that lick coming. And that ain't no child abuse. You don't even have to hit him. You just look at him and say, no. You're going to hurt his feelings. He's just like a puppy. He'll tuck his tail and run. You got to get him young when he's bendable. You let him get grown and try to tell him. The police put that stick on him, still won't hurt him. They got to shoot him. And then you're going to say police brutality. Police have a hard job. If you want to raise him, come get him and take him on. But if I raise him, I'm going to correct him, I'm going to train him, and I'm going to try to turn him out like I was raised. Amen. And when we messed up, we got whooped. Hello?
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Now, as I conclude, God had Gideon send people home lest Israel vaunt themselves. The moment we attribute the victory to our strength, our brilliant strategy, the normal rules will apply again. The third rule is this. Thank you, Thomas. Shouted by the trumpet of God is what you see is what you get. God told Gideon, I will save you and deliver the Midianites into thine hand. God already said, I'm going to do it if you just follow my rule. Let me handle it. We must realize that the people of God uses to win the victory are not always the most cultured or the best educated. Let me read it again. Amen. We must realize that the people God uses to win the victory are not always the most cultured or the best educated. Amen. Like Gideon's men, they may lap like dogs, but they're God's men. Amen. Lapping like a dog might not show culture and sophistication. You might not get there and cross your legs and dip your little cup in there and turn it back and sip it like you're a big shot. But when you get there and take your old dirty hands and lap up a little sip of water while you're looking around and sip it like that, that's what God can use because you're paying attention. God wants people to pay attention. Wake up, people, and pay attention to what's really going on. What's really going on in our lives? God bless you with a little money and you take it and try to go with a get-rich-quick scheme and give it away as your fault. Nobody's fault but yours. Take that little that God gives you and use it right and watch God bless you with more because you're handling it right. Amen. Take a little and use it right and watch God build you up. Amen. You can get out of debt. You can get all that stress off of you. Amen. God will bless you. You going to let me use that cane? Thank you very much. Oh, well, you using it? Hey, bring it back here. Let me use it. I want to use it to walk down from here because I almost fell coming up here. I don't think y'all saw that, did you? Until I bring it right back to it because I forgot mine. As I conclude, like Gideon's men, they may lap dogs like water like dogs, but have the hearts of lions. God wants people that's got some hearts of lions, not scared. Amen. We may see a commoner, but get a conqueror. Do I have to read it again? We may see a commoner, but get a conqueror. We may see a defeat, but God sees deliverance. If we can just listen to him and obey him at his word. In my conclusion, if you're in the audience and realize how important it is for us to be a Gideon, that's the name that they use on the Bibles. Did y'all know that? If you go in a hotel room anywhere in the country, they're trying to get away from it, and look in the nightstand, you'll find a Bible placed there by the Gideons. And what they have on that is a little symbol of a light, a lamp. And what the Gideon people that do the Bibles are saying is they're called their organization Gideon. And they say, we're going to give a light. The trumpets won the battle. The lights won the battle. Because God told them to blow the trumpets and throw the lights. So they had an incendiary device in one hand, and they threw it, and when all them things burst and the light blew up, and they sounded the trumpet, it scared them other soldiers, and they ran like jackrabbits. See, God knows how people are. God knows how to scare us when we're wrong. And his people admitted we're right. And they whooped the Midianites, and they whooped the other folks, Brother Fred, and the Amalekites, or whoever it was. Because God is on our side. Amen. So as I take my seat today, remember the heroes of faith The amazing story of faith, our heroes. It wasn't these generals on these horses all around Memphis. It wasn't in the parks with the rebel flag. It wasn't even the red, white, and blue flag and Kunta Kinte them. Roots was fun to look at, but don't get too caught up in your heritage. Your heritage is in the Bible. It ain't the motherland Africa. I've never been to Africa. I will go back to somewhere I've never been. Hello? Some of my forefathers were brought over there on a ship, and that's fine too. But my heritage is in the Word. Hebrews 11 is my heritage. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Moses, and Gideon, and Barak. Those are my forefathers, and they're yours too. So if you want to make it to heaven, listen to your history. Look to your heritage and try to do God's will. Now I'm going to end with a song, and I want y'all to listen to the words of this song, because sometimes it's rough. I think it's called When My Way Groweth Drear. And y'all turn over that and read it. Is it 57? Sister James, you ought to know it by heart. You always ask for it every Sunday. I think it's 157 or 257. I think it said, when my way groweth drear. What's the rest of the word? Y'all help me. Precious Lord, linger near. Don't you want God on your side? When my way groweth drear, precious Lord, is it 57 or 257? Is it 257? When my way groweth drear, precious Lord, linger near. Oh, when my life is almost gone, that's how I feel. Hear my cry, hear my call. Hold my hand, thank you, Sister Sellers, lest I fall. Take my hand, take my hand. Precious Lord, lead me home. And then the chorus said, precious Lord, take my hand and do what? Lead me on. Let me stand. Why is that true? Don't you get tired sometimes? I am tired. I am weak. My hip is worn. 62.